Hello students. Now continue to our next lecture, lecture number 31. In the last previous lecture, we had discussed in detail about the anatomy and physiology of eye, and today, as continuing the next sense organs, today we will study about the anatomy or the structure and the physiology, that is the functions of second sense organs, which covers ear. So, we all know about the functions of ear, but today we will discuss the specialized functions of ear which might some of you may not know, and their process of hearing. So, ear, this is not only an organ which detects or required for the collection of sound waves, but it also senses the position of the head. So, I hope this is new to you. So, the ear is required for the proper balancing of the, or the, we can say the rotation of the head, which is still kept constant. Sometimes your head is moving in the straight line direction or rotating like this. These all features can be perceived by the ear. So, ear function is not only to hear, okay, the movement of the head and neck muscles is also covered by the ear. Sound is nothing more than the vibration in the air around us. So, the external ear, if you are talking about in deep the ear is comprises of three main parts: the external ear, middle ear and the inner ear. So, the external ear consists of the visual fleshy part. What we will see? The visual part is the external ear. It is the fleshy part which helps to collect the sound, and also this external ear is acting here as a funnel them to the auditory canal. Okay, inside this external ear we are having middle and inner ear, which comprises of a complete canal like structure. So, what external ear will do? It collects all the sound waves, radiations, and reach them to the auditory canal. The auditory canal contains various small hairs as well as wax producing glands that prevents the foreign objects from entering into the ear. It is very much required for the normal physiology. Sometimes one may feel like ringing ear. So, what we will do? We take one earbud and clean our ear. So, that is not very much required. Why? Because the wax present or the small hairs present inside the auditory canal, or we can say the inner ear, is very much required or important for capturing the foreign particles, dust, microbes, for getting inflamed the inner ear. So, this is the anatomy of ear. See this canal like structure, students. So, this is the auricle, or we can say external ear. This is complete external ear, or just this is a fleshy part of the ear. If we go inside this is a canal, long canal like structure. What is this? After external ear, the external auditory canal. Then this dark green part, we are having tympanic membrane. It is acting as a eardrum. It rotates when the sound waves come and contact with this tympanic membrane. Beneath this tympanic membrane, we are having tympanic cavity, which contains the fluid media. Then we are having round window. Other bones are malleus and incus. These are two small bones present in the auditory canal. Then another bone stapes, which is attached to the oval window. See this semicircular canals and this purple side. After this, small capillary like structure, which is nothing but the vestibular nerve supply, and just vestibular nerve ke niche we are having cochlear nerve, which is proceeding towards the cochlea, and this is, you will see, eustachian tube. So we'll discuss one by one these various parts of the ear and their functions in our next few slides. So starting with the structure of ear, the human ear consists of three parts, that is external ear, middle ear and the internal ear. So let's go in deep first about the external ear. It is further divided, or we can say subdivided, in various parts. Like first one is the auricle, or we can say pinna. So the external fleshy part which we'll see from our eye is the pinna, or the auricle or the pinna comprises a thin plate of the elastic cartilage covered by a layer of skin, and it consists of funnel-like curves that collect sound from all the directions, sound waves, and transmit to the middle ear. The lobules consist of adipose as well as the fibrous tissue, and these tissue will supply to the blood capillaries. So because of these vasculature part in the adipose and the fibrous tissue, this middle ear is having full of blood supply. Then after auricle or the pinna, we are having external auditory meatus. So it is the slightly curved canal supported by the bone, meatus bone, in its interior part, and it is a cartilage, we can say cartilaginous fibrous tissue, directly originates from the exterior part of the ear. The meatus or the canal is lined with the stratified epithelial tissue as well as by the wax gland. The third layer of the external ear is the tympanic membrane. This tympanic membrane separates the middle ear and the external ear. This part perceives and amplifies the sound waves. Okay, so remember the main function of the tympanic membrane to receive and amplify the sound waves which are collected by the pinna, or we can say the external ear. Its central part is known as the umbo. Now after the external ear, coming to the inner ear, the middle ear, external, middle, and then we'll go in the inner ear. The middle part of the ear having tympanic cavity and the eustachian tube. The tympanic cavity means, students, a hollow, narrow part which is void, empty area. So it is the narrow air-filled cavity separated from the external ear by the tympanic membrane, and this tympanic cavity forms the inner ear by the bony walls. The tympanic cavity has an auditory tube which is known as the eustachian tube, which is located at the anterior wall of the tympanic cavity. Now coming to eustachian tube, the eustachian tube is about, or we can say approximately 4 centimeter long tube, and this tube equalizes the air pressure. What it will do? It will balance the air pressure on either side of the tympanic membrane, that is external and the internal side of the tympanic membrane. It connects the tympanic cavity with the nasopharynx cavity. Okay. So this is the function of tympanic membrane. After this, we are having ear ossicles in the middle part of the ear. These are responsible for transmitting the sound waves which are collected from the external ear, or we can say pinna, sound waves from the eardrum to the middle ear. So basically there are 3 ear ossicles which are present in the human ear. First is the malleus, incus and stapes. Malleus, it is a hammer shaped part which is attached to the tympanic membrane through the handle, and incus through the head. It is the largest ear ossicle. Sorry. So remember students, in these three bones, that is malleus, incus and stapes, the incus is the largest ear ossicle, or ossicle means bones. Then after malleus, the second one is the incus. It is the anvil in shape, anvil shaped ear ossicle, which is connected with the stapes. It is the smallest ossicle and also the smallest bone present in the human body. Now coming to the third or the inner part of the ear, that is inner ear. It comprises basically two parts, that is first one is the body labyrinth, bony labyrinth, and the second one is the membranous labyrinth. So bony labyrinth comprises of a vestibule, which is three semicircular canals present inside the inner ear, and it spirally coiled coccula is there. It is filled with the perilymphatic tissue, or we can say the perilymph. The membranous labyrinth, it is also a bony labyrinth surrounded by a membranous labyrinth, that's why known as membranous labyrinth. It comprises of sensory receptors responsible for the balancing and the proper hearing by the normal eardrum. The membranous labyrinth is filled with the endolymph and comprises with three semicircular ducts, which is named as coccular duct, then saccule and the utricle. Okay. The sensory receptors includes cristae. Cristae, what is this? This is an organ of Corti. Organ of Corti located inside the inner ear. And ampullaris maculae. Now coming to the physiology of hearing. So hearing means the audition. The responsible part is the auditory canal. So what will happen when the sound waves are collected by the external ear? It goes through the inner ear via the middle ear. The auditory canal contains small number of hairs as well as wax glands, which produce the required for the prevention of foreign objects to entering the inner ear. The auditory canal extends into the bone of the head but stop at the eardrum or maximum up to the tympanic membrane. The eardrum is the beginning of the middle ear. Remember this line, middle ear arises from the start of the eardrum. Sound vibration strikes the eardrum and are transmitted through the three tiny bones of the ear, which are malleus, which is hammer in shaped, incus, anvil in shaped, and stapes, which is stirrup in shape. Okay. So remember these three bony structures which is present inside the middle ear, that is malleus, incus and stape. Malleus is the largest bone of the ear ossicle, while the incus is the smallest bone of the ear ossicle. The stapes or the stirrup transfers these collected vibrations to a thin membrane which covers the opening, which is known as the oval window. This membrane transmits the vibrations to the cochlea, which begins the inner ear. The coccula is a snail shaped consisting of three fluid filled chambers, or we can say cavities, that are separated by the various membranes. What will happen next? After this, the middle chamber, or we can say middle ear, which contains the organ of Corti, OFC bolte hain students in short, organ of Corti, which is the organ, basic organ of hearing. So when the fluid vibrates through this tympanic membrane, the labyrinth, the tiny hair cells lining of the cochlea are pushed back and forth motion, that is to and fro motion mein this will ring, providing stimulation that is turned into the nerve impulses. The nerve impulses are carried to the brain. The produced nerve impulses directly go to the brain by these auditory, or we can say the acoustic nerve supply. The ears also contain a structure for detecting a stimuli or stimulus that makes us aware to our movements and also allow us to maintain our normal physical posture or the balance. They are called the semicircular canals because they make each half of the circle. Semi means half. Half circular canals they will form. These semicircular canals are the two tiny sacs, tiny sacs which is located behind them, and it helps us to sense the balance or the equilibrium of our body position. Both the canals along with this fluid sac are filled with the fluid and lined with the hair cells, and these small tiny hair cells here act as mechanoceptors. Mechanical receptors is collectively known as mechanoceptors. These are very small tiny grains of calcium carbonate and protein made up of otoliths. So these otoliths roll back and forth in response to the gravity, and these otoliths accelerate as well as deceleration resulted. The movement of fluid and the movement of otolith to and back movement bend these hairs, tiny hairs which are located inside the inner ear on the hair cells, and this in turn sends the impulses to the brain, which finally enable it to determine the body's motion as well as the normal position. So see the internal structure of the ear. This is the external part, auricle, or also known as pinna. Here you will see the sound waves, how they will collected and go through this auditory canal. This is the external auditory canal. These sound waves go and directly knock the tympanic membrane. This is the eardrum named tympanic membrane. Inside this is complete the middle ear, and this is internal ear. You will see inner ear, light blue part. The pink part is the middle ear. After tympanic membrane, we are having three small bones, that is malleus, incus and stapes. So see the diagram arrow structures, pink arrow students. The physiology of hearing: when the sound waves enter through this auditory canal, it directly go through the tympanic membrane, crossing various bony structures like malleus, incus and stapes. It enters through the oval window, and via this oval window the sound waves go through the sclera vestibuli, covers the scala tympani membrane, crossing the O of C, organ of Corti, OOC बोलते हैं इसको, organ of Corti. Again it rounds in this direction via this cochlear layer, which is the basal membrane. Again it hit the tympanic membrane. Again it goes making this semicircular canal ke through, it making the semicircular motions until the nerve impulses generate impulses and these impulses will go to the brain for the comprising of hearing. So this is the complete we can say physiology of hearing through the various parts of the ear. Now coming to the disorders of ear. So as we know, the ear is not very much delicate part of our body, but it the external ear is somewhat rigid, But as we go inside the middle and the inner ear, if there is imbalance of the hair cell numbers, or there is complete removal of the wax gland, or when we can say the glands will become completely dried, not able to produce the wax. So sometimes due to infection, there is ringing tinnitus, we can say, ear resulted. So there is a variety of conditions that may affect your hearing, diminished hearing, or not only hearing, the balance, the equilibrium part of our physiology. So ear infection are the most common illness basically in the infants and the young children. It is not seen as we grow older, but after 50, 55, as we reaches the geriatric age, again there is infection of the ear, or the disorders will arises. So the first disorder is tinnitus. Tinnitus, it is the roaring in your ears. What it means? The complete simultaneously sound arises in your ear, ringing in ear, and this can be resulted of a loud noises. Sometimes arises because of the medicine side effects, or also a variety of other external causes. Second one is the Meniere's disease. This is as a result of fluid problem in your inner ear, that is the labyrinth. If it becomes dry, then the condition like Meniere's disease will arise. It sometimes includes tinnitus as well as dizziness. So tinnitus is nothing but the ringing of your eardrum, and dizziness is the we can say not feeling proper, alas, like laziness, drowsiness. Okay. So next one is, after Meniere's disease, we are having another disorder, ear barotrauma. Baroreceptors, you have heard about this terminology earlier also. Baro is the word required for measure the pressure. So ear barotrauma, trauma means, students, the traumatic surgery, means in emergency or accidental. So what will happen? There is an injury in your ear because of change in barometric and the, or sometimes the water pressure, the fluid inside the ear. If it vary or it less or more according to the optimum level, it will result in the barotrauma disorder. Some of the other disorders which can result in hearing disorder and deafness. So this is all of the disorders of ear. So in this presentation, we have studied about the anatomy, that is the complete structure, various parts of the external, middle and the inner ear along with their functions, and then we studied about the physiology of hearing, which is very much important, and in the last we discussed the various diseases like Meniere's disease, tinnitus, and the barometric, that is change in the pressure of the volume of air going inside, or the water pressure, that is fluid labyrinth present inside the inner ear, resulted in the barometric ear disorder. So this is all about today's lecture. Go through the slides. Bye bye.